There is no doubt to anyone that the succession was extremely bloody and full of angry gamers on the forums writing how Blizzard mistreated both the old school Warcraft 3 players and new players with the broken promises. And for me to repeat all of the things gone wrong with the debut of Warcraft 3 Reforged feels like kicking on someone that's already lying down on the ground. Putting the scandals aside that Blizzard has created, both the recent ones and the old ones, I am going to try to just focus on how the gameplay feels, graphics looks, my campaign experiences, and unranked viability, and lastly also if it's worth buying or perhaps keeping if you have already pre-ordered the game. The game should feel good to play even if you're not a fanboy of Blizzard lore. I will also try to be as non-biased as much as humanly possible because I have loved pretty much every game that has come out of Blizzard the past 2 decades, and it's really sad to see them be so disconnected from their fan base. There is the one issue I have to bring up before reviewing the game. Pretty much every corporation in any branch of business has this problem, but it's not discussed much. The big problem is that usually in the long run, where you have a lot of employees, the people with the least knowledge and skill apply for jobs within the company that they are not qualified for. And why they apply for these jobs is simply because they want, quote, an easier job, and very often they apply for jobs within human relations, aka becoming managers, or other positions that involve decision making because these jobs give the most pay. An artist that loves to animate or draw will never apply for a desk job and order people around because an artist loves what they create and they don't simply do it for the money. Only people that have low skills do that, and it is sadly really shown in a lot of the big brand companies these days that try to ride the internet waves. So I can understand sometimes why these things happen. I don't really blame the entire company for it, because we rarely if even ever get to see the real reason behind the company curtain. I just hope that whoever son-in-law or cousin that approved these catastrophic decisions gets laid off or at least gets removed from decision-making positions. And also that the sales management people stop with the beating on the employees that have all the talent and know-how.
Use foul language in front of a lady.
No, Daddy, no!
The animation and graphics look a lot better than the old one. You can see how it used to be on the right side of the screen. The user interface no longer takes up the entire bottom row of the screen, which will enable you to see your surroundings a lot better. You no longer feel zoomed in on your screen, and the extra visibility you get is extremely vital to how you micro your units better. This game is heavily into micromanaging your army. You need to learn how to use the hotkeys on your heroes and units and use the skills in the right time. Not mouse clicking the hero skills like I am doing right now, which is extremely inefficient. You could almost say that the main backbone in your army is your hero, and the other units mostly act like supports. Some will tank, heal, slow, buff, but the main DPS is from your hero, and if you lose your hero, especially in versus games, that almost pretty much guarantees a loss. So it's extremely important to be able to see how and where your hero is going when you're clicking him about, and the extra visibility granted with Reforged will help a lot.
Is there danger? A sound plan.
When playing campaign, you follow a story where you have a main quest to complete to be able to clear that stage, and an optional quest that can give nice rewards to your hero. The rewards can vary between items with a permanent buff to your stats as long as you wear them, or consumables that heal, summon minions, buff, give mana, and many more effects too long to be listed here.
Is there danger? Of course.
The scenario with each stage is pretty much the same thing. You get an objective that needs to be killed or taken, and you build a base to gather resources to be able to raise an army strong enough to kill off the enemy. You learn most of the mechanics in the game this way, and the knowledge of which units counter what other units. But the biggest reason to play campaign is pretty much just to learn more about how Arthas became the Lich King or Illidan became a badass demon hunter. And of course the journey of the many other Warcraft heroes too. I think that even if you're not a Warcraft lore fan, you can still find these stories entertaining enough to keep progressing further into the game, which is of course a very good thing. One aspect I also like with the game is that you can change the skin of your heroes. Some can even change gender, which is a pretty cool addition. Sadly though, the female demon hunter still uses the male model when she uses her level 6 ultimate. The skin should be expanded more into as rewards for completing the game or as getting a certain MMR rating or ranked, instead of just as pre-order rewards. This will give players something to strive for and admire other players for reaching their goal. To not be able to see how many times one has won or lost ranked games is also a big problem that can discourage many to become pro players. There needs to be a ladder for ranked play, and I really hope that Blizzard sees this now too and implements a fix ASAP. To play ranked to just get a 500 win portrait is not so appealing to most people. As you can see, my interface is a little buggy, and it's still unbelievable to me that Blizzard could release the game in this state. But I'll try anyway to give you guys and girls a look into how it is to play this game in ranked. When picking the Night Elves, you get the powerful moveset that can heal your units. Maeve and the Demon Hunter make a good combo where the Demon Hunter can tank with his dodge passive while Maeve can slow and DPS. The Night Elf heroes can level up fast and are a good rush race. They also have very good map control. Orcs have the most HP on their units, and that makes them very tanky and hard to kill. The Blade Master is lethal to face one-on-one because of his crits, and their hero trifecta is probably the most feared in the game, with 6 CC, heal and DPS. The Undead make up the famous DK/Leech hero nuke combo. Very good at harassing the enemy with hit and run tactic because of the movement speed aura of the DK. Good defenses as the main building and ziggurats can shoot enemies afar. Very good race to pick, but not so strong early on because your hero can't heal up if you take a lot of damage early on. Standing on Blight to heal takes a long time, even though these guys are my favorite race. Humans are the all-rounders, good at most but not really best at anything except for expanding. Most human players always get 2 gold mines because of how fast they can build. Water Elemental is a pain to deal with, and the Paladin can sustain our army with his heals and really put a hurt on Undead. It's a really cool mechanic that healing skills can act as damage spells versus the Undead. Now for our online versus game, we're gonna pick the Night Elf race and try to rush our opponent. The plan is to summon a Demon Hunter to act as a tank and build a few archers plus huntresses and go one base all in ASAP to surprise our opponent. Because we have Moonwells, we can take a lot of damage on our hero, which in turn can make him creep a lot faster than the enemy can. This tactic can make our heal level much higher than the opponent, and hopefully when we strike hard.
Command me. Anador and...
Now we will just heal up and get a few more units, then go for the big attack. We are not scouting or anything ahead because we want the opponent to think that we are noobs, and he will not rush up a defense because his location has been revealed to us. The most ideal will be to catch his heroes while they are creeping with low HP. And that is exactly what is happening right here. He is now running away scared back to his base and revealing his base location to us. That's really nice of him. Even though he has 2 heroes, they are too low in levels to be considered a threat. He used most of his gold and lumber to tech up instead of building units, which is good for us. And this will be a quick win. Our plan was a success. Got so lucky. This game can be a lot of fun to play, even if you're not a micromanaging god. But the damage that Blizzard has inflicted on the gaming community cannot be understated, and it's more their horrible decision making and not the game itself that makes me only give it 3 points on a 10-point grade scale. If you can put the politics aside, you will enjoy this game, both in single player and in versus/ranked mode. And if you still feel that this game is not for you, there might be a new hope waiting for you from Blizzard. But it might take some time.
Blessed Mother, save us.
Please, Blizzard, don't ruin Diablo 4. Oh my god.